You're moving. You're moving out of state. What do you do first? And more importantly, what are the main things you've got to do and think about right now? That's what we're talking about today, and we're starting right now. I'm Sherri Ann Green with Coldwell Banker. Welcome to my YouTube channel that guides home sellers and home buyers in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. You're moving out of state. It is a lot to think about. You've got to get organized, and you got to get organized right now. And this video is here to help you do that from start to finish. So what are my 7 favorite tips for moving out of state? Let's don't waste 1 minute. Let's start with number 1, and that is pack a parts box. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Don't try to say that 7 times fast, but pack a parts box. What's a parts box? It is just what you may think it is. It is all the parts that you are going to need the minute you get to your new home. It is the last box to go on the truck or in the car, and it is the first one to come out. So what do you put in a parts box? You know, all of those pieces of furniture that you have to take apart, and they have all those tiny little parts in them, and then when you get to your new place, you have to put all those things back together. Namely, let's start with things that are really important, like a bed. That's what goes in the parts box. The truth is, let's back up one step further. As you take apart these items, let's say you're taking apart your bed, or you're taking apart your bookcase that holds everything that you need to run your business. You need to keep every single screw and washer and part that goes with that piece of furniture. You need to put it all together and put it inside a plastic bag that is labeled with what that piece of furniture is. Do that for every single piece of furniture that you're going to have to assemble, and then you put all of those pieces, all of those little plastic bags or big ones, inside a box marked parts. Now what else do you put in that part box? The screwdriver, the hammer, the Allen wrench, whatever tool it is that you need to put said parts back into said piece of furniture and to get it assembled again. Basically, this is the parts that you need to get your life up and running as quickly as possible. We all know that moving just doesn't happen that quickly. And when you get to your new house, well, you're not going to get everything set up right away. But there's nothing worse than getting to your new house, and maybe it's late in the day and you've ordered a pizza and you've done that and you've unpacked the truck and you really just want to go to bed and you can't find what you need to even put your bed together. So don't be in that predicament. Make sure you do this parts box. The other thing you need to put in the parts box are other things that you need. Toilet paper, paper towels, some cleaning supplies, any of those things that are going to help make your move-in just a little bit easier and make it all go smoothly. The last thing, make sure you put in that television, computer, and any part you need for that too, because you want to be entertained or have some means of escape for a few minutes while you're doing all of this unpacking. My second tip, plan your move as early as possible. You want to get the mover that you want, and you want to be able to move on the weekend or the weekday that is appropriate for you, that's right for your schedule. So make sure that you are planning that move as early in advance as you can so that everything you need to do and all the rest of the steps I'm going to tell you about can line up quickly and easily. You certainly don't want to go through the hassle of picking a mover and then realizing you can't get them on the week or the day that you need them. So planning ahead is imperative to make sure that you get to work with the service providers that you think are going to give you the best move possible. My third tip, you might need to secure some temporary storage. So think of a pod or a temporary storage facility like Extra Space Storage. There are a number of these kinds of facilities and storage containers that you can rent. With a pod, they'll just show up at your front door, show up on your street, or show up in your driveway. You can load in the things that you don't need in the house immediately, and then you have them out of your way for when you do your big move. Now, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to move some things into temporary storage if you are going to move? Well, if you're putting your house on the market, you may need to declutter. It may be the first thing that comes out of your real estate agent's mouth. We have to clean this place up. We have to declutter. If you are packed into your house, every closet, every garage space, the back door, the pool house, the backyard, if everything is just really full, it can help your sale if you take some of these things out. So if you have a temporary place to put some of these items, then you can start that decluttering and then pull them out when it is time to move. And again, if you use a pod, you pack it up, they take it away for a little bit. When it's time to move, they just bring it right back to your front door. Tip number 4, make sure you set up all your utilities before you move to your new house. There is nothing worse than showing up to a new home and you don't have water, electricity, gas, and Wi-Fi. There is nothing worse than standing in your new home in the dark, trying to unpack, standing in the cold, standing in the heat, or there's no way to have any communication because you don't have any Wi-Fi, or any entertainment for your children because you don't have any Wi-Fi or cable set up. Make sure that your real estate agent, the property management company, the HOA, or your landlord tells you the utility companies that you need to have set up. They might even be nice enough to give you the links or the phone numbers to those places so you can get everything set up in plenty of time. Tip number 5, vet your moving company. I can't stress this enough. Read reviews, ask your friends, and read the fine print of any moving contract. If you go out and get 3 quotes and 2 are at one price and the third is half price, be very careful before you pick the one that is half price. Why are they half price? What are they not offering you that the other 2 are? That's pretty imperative for your move. I heard a story once of someone who did just this. They interviewed 3 people and one was half price. The other 2 said, make sure you read their contract. What are they not giving you? Well, they didn't read the contract and they didn't know what they weren't getting, but they quickly found out. What happened was this. They moved and the truck was supposed to be following right behind them. The truck didn't show up the same day that they did, and they called their moving company and they said, hey, where are our belongings? And then they said, well, we're waiting to fill up the truck. We put all of your things on the truck, but we weren't full. So when we have the next move that fills up the remainder of the truck, then we'll come to your location and unload your belongings. That's why they were half price. They weren't going to show up until they had another job that landed in the same location. So here they were, these people who had just bought a new house. They'd packed a suitcase to stay in a hotel maybe one night because they thought the truck was coming the next day, and the truck didn't come for 2 weeks. They had no sheets, no towels, no cups, no plates, no furniture, no bed, nothing. Read the fine print. Here's my other pro tip here. Don't just read the reviews that the mover gives you. Go seek your own. Go to the Better Business Bureau. Seek out different reviews on them, not just the 3 or 4 that they provide you, because they're going to provide you with the best ones that they have. Go do your research separately so that you can feel confident with the reviews that you have found on your own, not just the 2 or 3 that have been given to you by the moving company. Moving is expensive, but if it's not done correctly, it can cost you time, and in the end, it can cost you more than you think up front. Tip number 6, how to buy in one state and sell in another. It can be done, and yes, you can do it in the same day, but that can be very, very stressful. Certainly, it is often better if you close on the house you're selling first and then buy your new house. And it is less stressful if you close and sell your existing home first, and then a couple of days later buy your next one. And why do I say that? Oftentimes people are taking the funds, the proceeds from their sale, and applying it to their new house. If you give it a couple of days in between, you can rest assured that the money will be wired in to the new title company. If you're doing 2 title companies, 1 in each state, and if you're moving to a different state, you probably do have a different title company. So you want to have time to close and get the funds into the new title company in plenty of time. Certainly there are lenders who will allow you to do the purchase before the sale, but just go over those details with your lender first so that you are all on the same page about how that's going to happen. Now, if the state is neighboring and it's a very close drive, let's say it's 2 or 3 hours, you might think you can just close at 9 a.m. on the sale and drive quickly over to the next state and close on the purchase? Maybe. But what if you hit a traffic jam? What if we have some weather issues? What if there's a crash on the interstate? You get the picture. There could be a number of things that go wrong, and you may not make it to the new appointment, make it to your new state and the title company in time for you to buy that house. So doing one before the other certainly can take off the stress. Tip number 7 is to purge, donate, give away, or sell anything you don't want to take with you to the new place. Don't pack it if you don't love it. That is my favorite moving tip. Don't pack it if you don't love it. If you are not going to use something in your new home, there is no reason to pack it and put it on a truck and unpack it in your new destination. Find someone who will use it. Donate it to a charity, donate it to a friend, sell it on Facebook Marketplace, just give it away. Anything you can do. As you go through the packing process, there are those last few days that get really, really stressful. There are certain things you can't pack until the very end, so you're waiting to pack those items. And then you get down to those final things that you think, I don't really want that. What am I going to do? And you just put it in a box and you take it with you. And then those things sit in that box in your attic or in your garage for years. Or you unpack them again and you hide them in a cabinet and you think, why did we bring this with us? We never use this. We don't like this. What's the point? Don't stress pack anything you really don't like. If it's something that you know you're never going to use, give it away now. And this goes back to point number 1, doesn't it? Start early. Plan your move as early out as you can so that you can get these kinds of things done. If you don't love it, don't pack it. What tips do you have for moving to a new state? I would love to hear. Put me a note in the comments. What did I think of? What should I have thought about? Or what would you like to see a video on related to moving to a new state? Let me know in the comments. And if you are moving, watch this video next. I think you'll find it helpful too.